Hi everyone, this is a quick tutorial about how to use the quote features within ServiceTracker. So what you do to start is over on the left hand side you've got this quotes, invoices and work orders. It may just say quotes and invoices on your system, so just be prepared, some of the labels do change. But where you start, you click on the quote and invoice, you select the billing account, so where you're going to be sending the quote. You can change the date, you can say whether it's a job or a service contract quote. Put in the name of the person that you're going to be sending the quote to, and if they don't appear in the list, it just means you've got to go back to the billing account and just create that as a new contact. Pop in the site address, you can put some notes, and you can put a little introduction. The rest you don't really have to fill in. If you don't have the billing reference or the purchase order number yet, don't worry. When it comes to the products, this will be your product list. So this is something you would either created yourselves or you've had something imported for you. I'm just going to do a quick quote for a routine and then click save. You can add multiple line items, but I'm just doing one in this particular example. On the second page, you can give that line item a reference. It's better if you've got more line items, because then you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and just show them on the quote in that order. You can update the line description, put in whatever you want, that'll appear on the quote. Location, this is more for when you convert the work, so you know exactly where you're going to be going to do it. You can change the quantities and the price. So for this routine, I'm going to charge £650. Discount, budget, cost price. If you want to link it to an existing schedule, perhaps for renewals and things like that. You can change the status or leave it as new for now. You got your tax rate, and then you could mark it as optional if you wanted to give the customer a few options on what you want to quote them. I'm going to click save. And that takes me to the quote and invoice screen, and it gives it a unique number. I can add more information like findings, recommendations. I can put my write-up in, and perhaps I want to add a photo. This all depends on your setup. You can add and remove different fields. Some of the times you might want survey details on there, and you might have loads of costing options, so just be prepared that this screen may look a little bit different to yours. Over on the right hand side you've got the status. This is where you're going to be basically updating your pipeline. So when you go to the survey, you update it. When you negotiate with a customer or you quote it, you then update it, and ultimately we want to get to a point where it's been accepted. This becomes your pipeline because you can run reports. So you can say, well, how much value have I got in my accepted pot? Or how much value is there in the quoted pot? Or how much have I actually surveyed? And you can look at the values and you can see them in a nice kind of pipeline if you do want to run reports. You've got other options at the top. So if you wanted to add more line items, you can. If you wanted to edit the existing line items, you can. Or when we come to accept the quote, we can then convert it. You can put in things like activities if you want to hold any meetings or log any phone calls. You can put any notes and attachments. Ideally, once the service agreement's been signed, you can upload it to the quote, so you've got reference of that. You can put in some quote costings. It keeps a revision history and an audit trail of everything that's happening on the quote. So when you've filled in all the details and you're now ready to send it to the customer, you could push the email button. You can see here it already fills in the name of the person it's going to email because we put that in. You can edit the email as well if you want to make it more personal, and you can actually open the quote just to have a quick look at it. This is bog standard. You can go to town on any development. It's all HTML. But yeah, you can change the logo, the address, things like that if you wanted to just use our standard quote features. And then ultimately you send it. Oh, I've exceeded my daily limits. What you can do once you've sent the email, you're obviously going to wait for that to be approved, and then once it's been approved, you upload it to your notes and attachments section. That then gives you a nice audit trail about when it was approved, and then you would go to accepted. At this point, sometimes you convert it yourself or you hand over to the admin team, and then they will come in and they will then convert that line item into a piece of work. And you just follow the quote conversion wizard to create kind of jobs or contracts, look up sites, create new sites. It's just standard kind of next all the way through. And at this point we're creating a piece of work on the back of our quote. I'm just going to cancel that for now. So yeah, once you've accepted the quote, converted it, that turns into a piece of work, and then you've got the whole audit trail from start to finish. Any questions, please let me know.